Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Esteemed Gentleman podcast for Friday, April 1st. I'm your host, Scott Labrie. Joined alongside me, we have all day Eric Deshane.
Hello.
How's it going today, Eric?
Oh, it's going. How about you, bud?
Good. It's nice weather out. Snow is melting. There was a warning that we might got snow today, but
is it still? I want to look. Is it still going to happen? Because
I better not.
Yeah. I'm like, I thought so too. It was supposed to snow today. We never got it. So awesome. Yeah.
No teabag today. He's a working man. He's getting he's getting that bread.
He's getting that bread. Yeah. Legitimately. Yeah.
I am a normal person. I have a half-eaten loaf of bread in my bedroom, like everybody does.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, just me and Eric, and we're going to talk about the thing that everybody's talking about, I guess. It's kind of funny because, like, we recorded both those episodes Saturday,
yeah.
And I totally forgot the Oscars were even happening.
Same, absolutely. I don't know. In my head, I always assumed they were in January, not so much March, right? So, or I don't know what this is the big Academy Awards, right?
Yeah.
Chris won that was all in around January, February time, right?
Isn't the Grammys around then?
Maybe I'm getting those confused. Maybe. I don't know, something like that. I know it's like this time of year is the award season. Yeah. But I thought it was more earlier, so I totally forgot about it was like it was even happening.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then, like, even if it were happening, I don't think I've really seen any of the Oscar movies at all this year. Besides,
only one I wanted to watch was Doom, but I just haven't had time to it.
Yeah.
It finally came out 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And like, that's one of those movies where I want to watch it and I want to be in the right zone for it. I wanted to start watching it, pause it, go back, and I want to watch it and enjoy it all for what it is, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's very much not it's the iPhone movie. I want it to be like a full experience movie, right? So yeah. That's the only one I can think of that's on there. And King Richard was one I did want to watch. By that too, I don't think it's out yet for us to see in streaming services. I don't
know. I know the best picture was it Coda?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's on Apple TV Plus. And I remember watching what's it called? Ted Lasso, and there would be previews for it before Ted Lasso. I'm like, this looks like a stupid.
You guys did watch one movie that was nominated.
Which one?
Don't Look Up.
Oh yeah, that was terrible. Why was that one nominated?
That blows my mind that it was even nominated. I'm like, how? Like, maybe I think it was nominated for screenplay. I think it was for Best Picture too as well. I'm like, how? And yet one I could think of that was made for these awards but got snubbed was, I think you might have watched it. They were titled The Last Duel.
I didn't.
Did you watch it? You watched out? I think this is titled that. I didn't avoid it, but you can tell that the movie's made for the reasons, and that was one of them, and it got snubbed all around. Like, wow. For a lot of money, I didn't think it'd be good.
Because nobody saw it.
No one saw it.
Not even the critics. They're like, wait,
that
came out?
Yeah.
But
yeah.
But like I was saying, we were did those pre-recorded episodes Saturday, and even if the Oscars did, like, we remembered the Oscars, it's like, yeah, we maybe talk about like who's nominated,
but nominated and the winners.
Nothing happens at the Oscars. The craziest thing that's ever happened at the Oscars is Anne Hathaway fell down when she was trying to get up on stage once. That was it. And all of a sudden, I go to bed early Sunday night. I go to bed at like 8 o'clock, and I think it already happened at that point. And I kind of glanced at my my family chat with my sisters, and all I saw was like, "Don't let Will Smith bite." And I'm like, I don't know what that means. And I go to bed. I wake up in the morning, and then all over the internet, Will Smith slaps the shit out of Chris Rock.
I wake up that morning too. I usually browse Reddit when I first wake up, and I'm seeing all these memes. I'm like, what the fuck happened? I've seen all Will Smith as Darth Vader walking down the hallway scene. Like, it's like, what the fuck is going on? Like, what did I miss? And I watched it. I'm like, oh fuck, I missed that show.
And
apparently,
it's funny because Tyler sent me an Instagram video on Instagram of I think it was like SpongeBob, but they put the audio of Will Smith saying, "Keep my wife's name out of your fucking mouth." And I didn't know what that was. At one point, I'm like, well, that's kind of funny, I guess.
That's okay, yeah.
And then it's like, oh, I get it now.
Yeah. Oh, I thought so too. I'm like, that's a skit. I'm like, no way. And then When it's like, no, this was real.
This was real.
This was real. Oh shit.
Yeah. It's like same thing. I had the same like, is this real?
Yeah.
And then it's like, well, audio cuts out, and like I watched like an Entertainment Tonight blurb about it, and they took it very seriously, and then like they showed like backstage footage or of Denzel Washington and Tyler Perry like taking Will Smith to the side and talking to him. So once I saw that picture of that, I'm like, okay, this does seem pretty real then.
Yeah.
And then
the first video I saw of it was the uncensored version that I think I forget which publication distributed it, and yeah, you see the whole thing. It's uncensored, so he just swears the whole time too as well, and just you walk something there like, okay, what's gonna happen here? Like some joke, right? And Chris
Rock like didn't think anything was gonna happen. He's like,
no,
what's like this Smith can do?
What's he gonna do? Okay, what's gonna happen here now? He did not think that was gonna happen at all. Like that just threw him out of nowhere, right? And yeah.
You could tell Chris Rock after that was very like flustered and
he's just like, what? Oh shit! Like Will Smith just knocked the shit out of me. What he says is like, oh wow, we just made television history. Yeah, like yeah.
And then of course after that, the takes and the takes. Chris Rock is in the wrong. Will Smith is in the wrong. Oh yeah. Will Smith should be thrown in jail. Chris Rock should never host anything and blah blah blah. It's like,
all these sides coming out. It's like, okay, it's not a cut and dry, but it's not to the extreme. I don't know. Like I think it's like everything Hollywood is being well documented and well blown out of proportion. I think sometimes, but yeah. It's just you would not think that would happen, and I don't know. It's why you have Chris Rock hosting is to bring some levity to these kind of things. But I know a lot of the stuff I heard too was like, oh, that was a little offensive joke. I'm like, well, yeah, but that's kind of why he was chose to host it. Like, if you want to get people to watch it, the biggest view of all time with the Academy Awards was probably the YouTube video of Ricky Gervais just shitting on these actors for how many minutes, right? So I'm like, well, that's why you have a comedian out there to kind of get them off their high horse and kind of make it so like it's not just so up their asses, right? But I don't know. To me, it was a dumb joke. I'll say that much at first. It was one of the lowest jokes like you could have made because if you sit front row at a comedy show, like you're pretty much like, oh, this is for a comedian, and like you can do better than that as a comedian, you would think. But I still think the reaction was also the wrong reaction too, as well. Yeah.
Like I definitely came out of it thinking like, well, they're both in the wrong because it's like Chris Rock either he didn't know about like Jada Pinkett Smith having alopecia or whatever, and it's like, well, you should have done your homework on that if you're gonna be busting actors' balls and stuff like that, maybe. And then, but then like Will Smith, like if Will Smith just waited till he's at his, even if he's like doing his acceptance speech, he's like, Chris Rock, that was out of line. You like Chris Rock would have came out at like the worst.
Absolutely, that's exactly it, right? Because if you would have thought about it rationally, been like, you know what, like let's be adults about this and not just like emotionally react as a first choice and just stop a guy. Like I get where I can see where his thought process was at the time when he did it, but at the same time too, was like you have to remember like who he is. Like this is like. Yeah,
and you have to remember who you are. You're Will Smith.
Yeah, you're Will fucking Smith. Like
nominated for Best Actor at the Oscars.
At that show, it's like okay, like it's. I mean, when the first person that comes to talk to you is your publicist after what you did, not a good sign. Yeah.
I'm kind of tired of hearing about it now.
I honestly, I'm loving the memes. That's all I live for. Like Monday was my heyday. I had so much fun on Reddit. Just sharing the memes on our group chat on Monday. Oh, I had a good time.
Monday was fine. Like, I was totally fine Monday. And then, like, at the end of the day, Monday, they both put out their apology statements.
No, Will Smith did. I don't know that Chris Rock
did as well, yeah.
Okay, I didn't know if he did or not.
And, like, all right, it's done. It's over.
Yeah.
And then the next day, people were still like giving their hot takes.
Oh, we're gonna hear about it for next
and I was like,
week or so.
just stop. It's over already. I'm tired of hearing it. We're
honestly
on day 3 now, or day 4.
Yeah, day 4. Is we're gonna hear about it for a while still, I think, because it is Hollywood. It is one of the biggest names in Hollywood right now.
Mm-hmm.
And the Academy, with the way they are, who knows what's gonna happen with him? I don't know. To me, it's gonna be like blown up.
Yeah, Chris Rock is gonna be booked on.
Oh yeah,
their podcast, the Red Table Talk, for sure.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely.
So many views.
I know. I think he's back on tour now again, and he's doing. I'm sure he's writing a set or has been doing a set about what happened on Sunday already. Like it's. Oh yeah, I'm sure it's like we talked about for a while about it, and then he'll have his Netflix special. We'll be talking about that too as well, and yeah, it's gonna be a while still before this won't go away, unfortunately for Will, but
right.
I don't know. To me, it's like, well, I was like, okay, like in hindsight, like he walked up and slapped the guy. He didn't like do nothing bad. It's not pressing charges.
No,
it could have been like, yeah, he could have really like intended to hurt. It was more like just a prideful showing, if anything. But like, it's
time and place factored into it for sure.
Definitely, that was more the thing with that, right? So. Yeah, it's one of those with hindsight you can see what went wrong, but at the time that wasn't going through his head, right? So.
Yeah. Speaking of other actor news.
Yeah, this one came out of nowhere. I didn't know about this even.
Yeah, so I forget what it's.
His condition. But this came out. I think
today,
this morning or is it this morning? I think it came out or last night.
Today or late last night, yeah.
I think it was late last night that it came out about
Wi-Fi shit. I don't know. Aphasia. Bruce Willis has aphasia, which I guess is kind of a sort of form of dementia where it impacts like being able to talk, I guess, and that sort of thing. So,
well, I mean, I think from hearing his stories about how he is, and if it's something to do with like how he is around people, it kind of makes sense because like if you ever dealt with somebody with dementia and it gets worse and worse, like it's like like that.
Apparently, he's been kind of dealing with it since 2015, is what I read, which makes sense now when we were shitting on him about the
exactly. And I'm like, oh, that's what I'm hearing about. I'm like, this kind of makes sense about his temperament and how he is as a person. I'm like, that affects your ability to communicate, affects your speech and understands both spoken and written languages.
And
No.
This morning I got a message from our friend Kent to the podcast page, and he said, just listen to the podcast the other day, and then you guys were talking about where people should quit before they're too old, and Tyler said Bruce Willis.
You said that on Saturday. I was thinking the same thing. Like, we just talked about this, I think. Yeah. So he's only 67, I think it said on here. And, like, he's still very young, but if that is the condition, then I would say do what you can while you can, right? So
yeah,
it's too bad, but I mean, like. There also was the rumor going around that he was taking whatever he could just to get all the money he can before he actually retires, right?
Makes
sense.
Makes sense.
That's why he was taking so many odd jobs and so many dumb roles his last few years just to kind of do what he can, right? So
he has like a ton of kids too, like a lot.
Apparently, yeah.
He's probably had I think he's had like 3 or 4 wives.
Children, yeah. I'm looking at it right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah.
Damn. 1, 2. Oh wait, that's 1. 6. Only 5. Sorry. 5. One name, three names and one name. So
so blame Tyler. It's all his fault.
Yeah, Tyler's fault that Bruce Willis is retiring. But yeah,
he can't defend himself.
You heard him.
So.
Yeah. I mean it's too bad, but yeah.
Yeah. A lot of people were like saying, I saw people listing their favorite Bruce Willis movies. And like, of course, Pulp Fiction and Die Hard series always came up.
But Pulp Fiction to me was never like a Bruce. He was in it, but like it was an ensemble movie, not just a him movie.
Yeah,
I was like saying Avengers is your best Robert Downey Jr. movie. Like, well, no, he's not. He's a
Yeah.
part of it. It's not just his, right? So
Especially the way
yeah.
Pulp Fiction is, where it's just like
Mhm.
very segmented. Where yeah.
Sorry,
But,
I interrupted you with that. Sorry.
no, I was just gonna say like one movie that I don't like hear people talk about a whole lot that I remember liking, but I haven't really seen it since watching it the first time. Was Surrogates? You ever see that one?
Nothing to do with cloning, right?
No, they have robots that like kind of look themselves, and they like basically they just stay at home and live in this pod, and like they can go out.
Oh yes,
and
yes.
they never age, and they like always look good and all.
Who's in it? His wife has like a face deformity, so she's all like anxious about it. I've seen that one. Yes.
Yeah.
It's been. I think I saw when it first came out too, and
he's a cop or something, and somebody's figured out a way to kill people in the pods remotely.
Yes.
And
yes, I remember this now. Yes.
He has to get out of the pod, and he's basically running around like a normal dude. And, yeah, I remember that movie. It was pretty.
I remember it now. Yes, it has like, and like the whole twist at the end was like the big higher up was actually like the revolutionary guy, and was a surrogate too. It was it was like subpar level like sci-fi that came out around the 2009 2010. Very iRobot-y, right? It's like okay, like it's sci-fi enough. Yeah, I remember that now. Yeah, Rosamund Pike was the wife, and she had a cut on her face, and that's why she always had a surrogate, because she didn't like how she looked. And yeah, I remember that now. Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, was always the Die Hard series was my go-to favorite one for sure. I remember watching the first one in my 20s, and like, why did I not watch before? This is fucking awesome. It's so good. Yeah, but
first 3 Die Hard movies. I think
especially number 3. Yeah. Number 3 especially is my favorite.
Yeah, that's one with Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah, Die Hard with a Vengeance. Yeah, but a heist. It's not about a heist. It's so good.
After that gets not that great.
No, yeah. After the bridge scene on the boat, after the boat explosion, it's like okay, yeah, it's done. Because the rest is just
What's the one that has the hacker or whatever? I forget what that.
4. Terrible. Okay. That's the one. That's the one with the cop into the jet. Yes. The cop car somehow hits a jet in the air. Yes.
And Tyler loves that movie.
Loves that one. Yeah.
And he's like, it's the best one. I'm like, you're on crack, man. It's awful. It's so bad. Especially the jet part, because it's terrible.
Yeah. Yep. I remember watching it like, oh yeah, it's pretty good. And then I think about it like, this was one movie though that I think he will agree to as well. I don't know if you ever watched it. Tears of the Sun.
I have not seen it.
That is a great like Spec Ops movie. Like early 2000s had a few of them, and like this is one with like a Spec Ops team goes to Africa and like rescues some civilians. It's like it's really dramatic. It's good. Like it's one of the better ones. Like what else came out around the same time? Like the what's the Ben Affleck one that Tom Clancy one? Some of All Fears came out too around the same time. Same idea with that very military political drama with it. It's really good.
Right.
Yeah.
Cool. Have to check it out. Add it to the list. My long.
Yeah, we all have a list. I know on Monday we're going to talk about this is already going to be a monthly recap, but Moon Knight just came out too as well.
I still need to watch it.
Same. I was a plan right for this one. I'll watch that here. I was hoping there would be more than one episode released, but now they're trickle feeding it again. Yeah.
Do you see that there was an announcement, a little trailer for Obi-Wan Kenobi?
No.
So they're moving it from the Wednesday to the Friday, but they're releasing the first 2 episodes on the Friday.
On the Wednesday. On the Friday or on the Wednesday?
Friday.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I mean, it makes sense. Release them on a Wednesday. It was never like, that's okay, but usually on a Friday. But yeah, that makes sense now to do it on a Friday. Yeah. What else was there? Oh, there's also a thing right now going around. I don't know if you saw it yet. They censored Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
I saw headlines. I didn't really get.
I saw one of the clips they did. It is disgustingly watered down and censored so bad. So like one of the scenes is the Winter Soldier like grabs its pole, the sharpened pole, to throw at a guy to kind of impale him, so he sticks, right. So it hits him in the guy's shoulder, and it sticks him. And it pins him to the wall, right. Well, they censored the pole right out, so you see him throw the spear, this pole like a spear, go into a guy, but the pole's gone. The guy just flies back, and nothing ever happens. Like what?
Threw it so hard it shattered
It
on
was
him.
shattered midair, and the force was enough to push him back. Like okay, like yes, I know you want to keep it PG friendly, family friendly, so we can still watch it with those timelines. I get that, but like have some like get over it. Like no one died. He just threw him against the
Did
wall.
they censor the scene where he like beats the guy's head in with the shield and get the
I didn't
blood
see
off
that
the shield?
yet. Oh,
like,
I didn't see that yet, but I'm sure they probably did because
that's like
again.
but I hope not, because that's like the whole imagery of that thing, you know.
Exactly. It's like that was the whole point. Like that's the stained shield. Like that's part of his character. Like yeah, that's you better fucking show that still.
I have to do research. Let's see.
Yeah, same.
Oh, Disney.
I can't stand that.
If you have like the non-parental one, is it
doesn't
do they get
matter.
it for? That's dumb.
Yeah, I was reading the two on Reddit. It was like, no, it doesn't matter. This is the new cut for all platforms. Because if you have to have the adult login for Moon Knight and Daredevil and all those other ones now, but not for Falcon and Wizard, because they wanted it to be part of that library, not the adult library. So yeah.
All right. So when they took the guns out of ET,
replaced them with the walkie-talkies for some reason. Yeah.
Because you
don't point guns at kids.
Yeah, exactly. The fuck.
Meanwhile, the boys.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't watch Moon Knight last night because I finally started making people our characters in
yes
WWE.
Saw a few little snippets from there, looking good.
I just did you, Eric the referee, and Eric the cleric.
Ooh.
Eric the cleric. I'll send you a video because I recorded a video. So like there's a little counter in the corner of like the amount of parts you can use in a character. There's a limit, otherwise like the game just like no,
can't take it. Yeah,
I am at the limit with Eric the cleric because
sweet.
They put so much shit in there. It's like all right, put armor on him, blah 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 blah, all that stuff. So.
Oh, looking
and he looks pretty badass at the end
Wicked.
of it, so
finally, yeah, I can look good in something for once. Sweet.
I think I did actually really well on all your characters.
The
referee one is just some dude.
All the ones look awesome. Like you look like you guys. Tyler's look amazing. The teabag was awesome.
Yeah, and I love how you can change their menu pose too, and then like
the one all the static imagery, all the same one. They're all different poses. Yeah,
yeah, they're all pretty great. So I'll have to make some other guys. I have to, of course, make Dave, make Ben in there. Some of the I'll have to see if I can get a picture of the title belt from Tyler and go down the list of former champions and make some of those.
You know they used to offer the make a belt thing too as well.
They do have that on there as well.
I brought that back. Awesome, yeah.
They have that. You can make your own like show, so it can make like the EWF arena. I have to upload a bunch of images to put on all the guys to essentially make it finish it.
I done Frozen on my
screen. You did freeze. You're going like this.
Ooh. I done Frozen.
Ooh.
What the fuck? I shall be one second here.
Oh. You're back, but you're still frozen.
Am I cutting in and out? Or
your voice is fine.
Just my camera.
Just your camera.
You crapping out finally? my $40 camera crapping out finally? Come on.
Oh.
I think it's poached.
Well,
it is literally like 400 degrees. It's on fire right now, so it could be why. Yeah, so right. I just move it, and it's like blistering hot. So yeah.
Well, I think maybe that might be a sign.
Yeah, maybe.
End the podcast before Eric's camera catches.
My house catches on fire because good lord.
Yeah, exactly. So all right, well that's gonna do it, I guess, for this podcast. Hopefully, Monday's podcast we'll have Tyler back on. Should hopefully.
Yeah, be first. Well, how's that work? Is it Us Is Anything Monday, or is it gonna be the monthly recap?
Ooh, good question. Should
So
probably be Ask Us Anything.
Ask Us Anything. Yes, it is the first Monday of the month, right?
Mhm.
Technically, today should have been the monthly recap.
Yes.
Yes, because it would have been the last day of the month. But we had the Will Smith thing, which is way more important to talk about right now.
And Tyler
Yeah.
Kleiner, so.
And Tyler, yeah.
All right. Well, yeah. So Ask Us Anything Monday. Get your questions in pretty please.
We want to hear from you.
You can message us on Facebook or just put it in a comment. I'll try and remember to post something on Saturday or something like that. A little status update you can comment on. And yeah. All right. Well, have a great weekend. If you're watching on YouTube, like and subscribe. If you're listening on a podcast service, subscribe, give us a rating, and like I said, head over to our Facebook page, ask us a question for Monday. Have a great weekend again, and we'll talk to you on Monday. Bye-bye.
See you guys.